Hello, everybody. It's Daniel here, and this is our next Emotional English Podcast episode where we learn an English language effortlessly, emotionally, fulfilled with energy, and of course, positively. Another day, another chance to learn English. And we can start. Today, I want to speak with you about our second part of how to understand the book you are reading. So another method I want to face with you guys. But before we start, I want to say a couple of words about our upcoming events. So next Saturday, I think it's going to be Saturday, 27th, right? 27th of May. I'm having the Good online conversational club about moral and ethics with you guys. If you're interested in philosophy, if you want to learn something new, so just let me know, send me the message, and you'll have a chance to be with us and have a nice conversation in English, totally in English, on Discord platform. We will speak with you about moral, ethics, what's good in life, what's bad in life, and we will train our skills, we will practice our skills in English, right, of English language speaking. And I hope you will learn something new for your personal life experience, because these conversations are not just about English, they are about life and about philosophy of life, right? This is a vital part during my podcast. You can understand that I'm making the content for you guys, not just about English, but about life in general. So English is a source, is a skill which helps you to cooperate with your life experience, right? And this is the most important thing, actually. So let's go to the method number 2. So the method number 2 is going to say to us some interesting thoughts about setting ourselves for success while reading. 7 great recommendations for us. How can we learn, and what can we do to practice our book reading experience? Right? It's very nice statements here. So, I will read these as always, and then I'll give you some thoughts of mine, and I will add some more facts or details from WikiHow. It's the resource I'm using today. Let's start. Let's begin. You see, the first step is pretty interesting one. So we should find a good spot for reading. Good spot for reading. What does it mean? If you think of it a little bit deeper, you'll understand that the place where you're sitting right now, it's your spot. All of us have productive spots, right? So, for example, you have your working desk or your kitchen table, right? Where you feel more productive. Okay, if your working desk is staying somewhere or a place somewhere in the room where you have a lot of distraction factors like your family, dog, cat, or somebody else, so it's better to pick the kitchen table for your productivity, right? So we should find a good spot for reading where nobody can distract us, right? Or nothing can distract us. So we need to find a good spot for ourselves where we feel great. And I quite agree with this statement. It's important to find your spot. Maybe it's a cafe, right? Maybe it's a restaurant. Maybe you have a beautiful cup of coffee and nothing else can distract you. This is a very good step and very good recommendation for us. Let's see what the website is telling us about it. So, avoiding distractions will help you stay focused on your book. Indeed. Choose some place away from the TV. Turn your phone on silent mode and set it slightly away from you. Slightly, it means a little bit, away, right? Not very far, not to the different room, but slightly away. So you're not looking and checking it. Be sure there is a lamp or window nearby to keep you from straining your eyes while reading. So, what is the problem with straining our eyes, right? Sometimes we do have our eye strains, right? What is eye strains? It's the when there is no light your eyes need more intensivity, right, to understand what you're reading. And your eyes feeling not so good. So when you want to decrease the straining of your eyes, it's better to find the place with a good light, right? When you have a window next to you and it's pretty, if it's pretty sunny outside, so you have no problems with reading, right? When you're next to the window, when you're close to the window, or you have a beautiful lamp, good lamp with good light there. So again, you're decreasing straining of your eyes. That's what we need, because our eyes can be exhausted with reading in the dark spot, right? So we don't want this. We want to decrease the straining of our eyes, not increase it. It's, straining, it's the word connected to your, let's say, activity in the gym, right? When you have heavy weights, so your muscles strain more, right? Because you have a big intensivity, right? You need more pressure to finish your routine. And when you're decreasing the weight, you're finally decreasing the strain of your muscles, right? So just think of it. And let's go next. And I quite agree. So we don't need to hear the TV. We don't need to hear people fighting or our friends or family speaking, right? We don't need any distraction factors. And it's quite understandable. And another distracting factor for us is our mobile phone, because it's always somewhere close to us, right? We don't want this. We want to read silently in a good spot, okay? Beautiful, comfortable spot where nothing distracts us. Okay. Second recommendation is quite interesting too. So we should make sure we are in the right frame of mind to focus. What does it mean? The right frame of mind, huh? It's a good statement. It's a good phrase because sometimes we feel very bad, right? So maybe the previous week for me, right? I got sick first, and then I felt not so good. So I had a depressive mood, right? Kind of a burnout, I would say, right? But anyway, that's a not right frame of mind to do or to work on my lessons and to have lessons with my students, right? This is a not right frame of mind to concentrate, to focus, to be productive. How to make the right frame of my mind, right? The best thing is just to do something fun before it, right? Or not be very exhausted. When you're super exhausted, you have a wrong frame of your mind. When you are good, when you feel right, when you've got enough sleep, so you have a right frame of mind, nothing distracts you, and you can easily focus, okay? This is the main thing. Quite important one, right? Quite important one. When you have a bad mood, it's not a good idea to start reading an important book for you, right? So it's better to skip and get well first. So what the website is telling us about this statement: sometimes it may be hard to get into a book, even if you have comfy spot, good lighting, and no distractions. We got that. If there aren't any immediate time constraints, consider putting down the book and coming back to it at a later time. So, immediate constraints, right? What is this, right? It's kind of limits. It's the things which kind of blocking or limiting us, right? If there aren't any immediate time constraints, time is like the time limits, right? Consider putting down the book and coming back to it a later time. Try to choose a more relaxing time to revisit the book. Again, if you have, let's say, a very hectic day, this is the time constraint, right? Because you should finish your book as soon as possible, ASAP, and you cannot be so focused on it because you're thinking about the next steps of your day, right? And you have to finish many things. This is not a right frame, like we discussed, right? And it's better, right? It's better to consider and putting down the book and coming back to it a later time. Because we need more relaxing time, a better environment, and just the right frame of our mind to be productive. Okay, so generally speaking, or frankly speaking, we just need a total empty mind with no distractions and good mood. Okay, when we're in a good mood, our reading is more resultative. Okay, so number 3, pick paper books over e-readers for better understanding. Okay, number 3. I cannot say that paper books are super cool because it's more comfy to use the markers, right? And I like use the quotations to remember some parts of my book while I'm reading the ebook. And maybe this recommendation is not for everyone, but for me, it works pretty nicely. So we should pick paper books over e-readers for better understanding. Let's think why. First of all, we have our physical contact with the book, right? We're touching the book. It helps us to concentrate and focus because when we hold something real, because we see all the pages, right? We see the amount of pages we've finished. This is more satisfying, I guess, because your satisfaction level is going higher because you see how much or how many pages you've done, how much information you consumed already, and it motivates you to read deeper, deeper, and deeper. Of course, I'm talking of, I'm telling you the story of myself, right? It's not the story of each individuals, right? We're all different and we need to pick our own methods. But for most people, interacting with paper books are better. It's better because these actions are better because you can concentrate on your text and you have this vibe and there is no distraction. There are no distraction factors with your phone as well, right? Because when you're reading on the phone, the message can pop up, right? Somebody can call you, right? And this is not a very good thing to do, right? We don't want this. We want just the connection with the book. And it's more minimalistic, I would say, because when you have no functions with your book has only one function, right? So it provides you the way to read, right? You just getting the book, opening the book, and going page by page, reading it strictly. But when you have a phone or e-reader, there are many other functions they have, and sometimes they're not so good. And another thing is the screen light, right? I dislike when this light irritates our eyes, right? Especially the time when you worked with a computer for many, many hours, right? You've worked with that and it's not very comfortable for your eyes. So let's think of it. This is quite important one, right? So just use the normal paper book instead of the e-reader. So what the platform is telling us, your brain absorbs the unfolding of the story and information better when you read paper books. Hard to say, but probably yes, maybe they've got some research. This is because you can observe the thickness of the book, like I said, and use your body to interact with it, turning the pages, for example, while reading. Yeah, this moment when you're turning the page, this little satisfaction moment gives you some joy. Trust me, you have this satisfaction. It's not just tapping your screen. It's just going from turning the page from one to another. So satisfying. And tapping is not very satisfying. If you prefer e-readers, what this platform says to us, that's okay. However, you are struggling to understand books, try reading a paper one and take note of any changes that occur in your comprehension. Okay. For me, I like to read e-books in English because I can easily quote them, right? Make a quote of the word and check the meaning in the English vocabulary right away. So I don't need to write it down somewhere. I can easily quote the word and put it into the English translator to check the word meaning and to see some alternatives to understand and rephrase the sentence easily. So for me, English reading is better with e-reading, right? If I read Russian books or some easy English books, I can read it with paper. It's fine. Paper books are fine. Okay, that's the recommendation number 3. Read books in a paper version. Number 4, read the book slowly but steadily. Yeah. Steadily, guys, steadily. So what does it mean, steadily? All right. It means without interruptions, right? If you want to say even deeper, right? It means when you, let's say, when you have productive routine, and you're not making big pauses, right? Just think of it. When you steadily going to the gym, it means that you're not skipping it, okay? When you're steadily reading books, you're coming back to your book reading routine every day. You're not skipping it, all right? This is the idea of the word steadily. So when you read the book slowly, it's okay, but this... this is more like consistently, right? So consistency is our key, and we go here consistently. Slowly and consistently, right? So this is the idea, steadily. Okay, what's more about it, right? Nothing to say, nothing to comment here. You just need to do this again and again and again every day, gradually working on your book, and you're fine. Consistency and not very fast speed, and you're good. So take the time to process what you read. Okay, this is the comment from the platform. Try not set aside at least 20 minutes and up to an hour each day for reading. So we need the limits for reading, not less than 20 minutes, right? Don't skip too many days without returning to the book, as you may forget what you have read. This is true because I have so many books had started, and some of them I didn't finish, right? I hadn't done. This is very bad, right? Because I'm still having these books laying somewhere in my wardrobe or in the cabinet. Of course, I will read them, but it's better to read one book consistently than hundreds of books, right? Without finishing it. But if the book is not good for you, if the book is not interesting for you this very moment, so stop reading it. Don't waste your time, because you need something the most productive for you, right? You don't need something less productive. So something else is here. It can be helpful to reread the last page, paragraph, or chapter when returning to the book. Think of it as recapping what happened, similar to way a TV show might recap what happened in previous episodes at the beginning of the next one. What does it mean, recap? A recap, it's this moments, right, of the series or books or book moments you've read before, right? When they give us an example here, like in series, while you watching it, next episode they show you what had happened previously, right? And then you can understand, and you can easily start to watch the next episode. The same thing with a book. If you had read something, you need to memorize it, right, somehow, or refresh your mind with it. So you read or reread a previous chapter or a paragraph or a page, depends on how long time passed from your last reading, and then you'll be fine. So read the book slowly but steadily, and just productively in the case of your timing, right? So don't do it less than 20 minutes a day. That's what they recommend. I think it's okay to read 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15. It depends how much you have, right? 3 minutes is good. It's better to read a book than read your social network feed, I mean. So recommendation number 5 is pretty interesting too. So check your knowledge of what has happened before moving onto a new section. Yeah, it's pretty important too. It's like we discussed previously. If you don't understand something, check what you've got, because it's stupid to go further than present simple if you didn't understand it, right? It's better to concentrate a little bit deeper and understand the logic of present simple or another tense, or to understand the logic of the vocab you're getting, right? It's stupid to skip the words which you don't understand, because, come on, man, today or never. So you will face this word again 100%. If you're not getting it today, you will not get it tomorrow. So you should understand it right away. You faced it, try to understand the logic of it. If you skip, you're cheating. And this cheat will not work for your progression, okay? So that's my comment on this one. The website is telling us here that when you get to the end of the chapter or section of a book, stop and ask yourself if you understand the major themes and events. If you recall what happened and have a good understanding, feel free to proceed. Feel free to continue. Proceed means the same. If you don't, though, you should refresh your memory to going back over the previous pages, chapters, or section. So if you didn't get it, go back and reread it. You didn't get it again? Reread it, try to understand deeper. Because why we are not getting the thing? Because first of all, the problem with vocab or misleading the topic, right? You cannot understand harder topic if you didn't get something simpler first, right? So read something simple and then you will understand something harder, okay? That's my statement here. So number six is take good notes while you read, right? While you read. Take good notes. And I think we discussed it, right? If something is misunderstandable, we can make a diagram, picture, or whatever we are reading. We need to interact with our notepad often, right? As more as we can. Because if we're not, so we can mislead ourselves or misunderstand something. It's important. It's important. So take good notes while you read. It's important. So the website is telling us, keep a notebook next to you while you read. Use several different pieces of paper to keep track of main characters or key terms. Yeah, to keep track, to control, right? To keep an eye on the plot, right? Major plot points. Yeah, that's the plot. Big picture questions. And things that confuse you. So these are the most three, right? So I'll repeat them again. Major plot points. Plot means the story of the book, right? Major plot points. Then big picture questions. It could be just logical, global ideas like the surrounding questions, right? To feel the topic better, right? Big picture questions. And things that confuse you. So if you were confused, you should kind of ask yourself, what should you do to understand it a little bit deeper and, delete the confusion, right? Or get rid of confusion. So big picture questions, again, you ask yourself, right? You ask yourself the question about Marvel. For example, you're reading let's say, comic book about Marvel hero, let's say Iron Man, right? And you don't know what is AI, right? And you ask yourself, what is an AI? Because AI is a vital part of Tony Stark business, right? To understand it deeper, who is Jarvis, you should ask yourself to get this big picture, to get this understanding, right? You can refer to these notes later to remember what the book was about. Yeah, and these little statements or notes help you to understand the global terms of the book and to understand the logic of the book. And you can easily refresh your mind with these notes. So I'm having these while I'm visiting my philosophy lectures, right? I do have a big notepad, and I'm checking my notes just to refresh the wisdom or the knowledge, right? What I've passed. That is especially helpful for academic text as well. When reading a book for pleasure, however, frequently stopping can disrupt the flow of your reading. This is important. This is the statement connects with the recommendation number 4, right? When we need to read the book slowly but steadily. We need to do this because when you have a big pause, you can forget some parts, and it's hard and it's kind of lazy. You're getting lazy to come back to the book. You want to start the new one. It's the same thing works with your series, right? You hadn't been watching the series for a while, right? In the past, and then you're coming back. And you're like, oh my God, where did I stop? So where have I finished watching it? And then you're rewatching some episodes and you're like, okay, that's the new one. That's where I've stopped, right? That's the location. So this is especially helpful for academic text, like if you're preparing yourself for the test or something important. So you can use this technique to note things. And last but not least, recommendation here, number 7, join a book club to have a group discussions. And this is really powerful. That's why I'm asking you guys to visit my Emotional English conversational clubs right now, because these are great opportunities to practice your language skills and discuss the topic you've learned, right? For example, next Sunday, I'm going to Krasnodar to my philosophy school to discuss the topic of Chekhov, right? Literature. And there are some interesting book reading parts which we'll discuss and we'll think philosophically. This is very cool because you can learn something important for your life when you have a discussion. Without the discussion, without questioning, without different arguments, right, you cannot find deep knowledge or wisdom. Because wisdom is more powerful than just knowledge. Knowledge without experience is useless. But when you have knowledge and you do have an experience, you're getting into the state of wisdom. And to be wise is much better than to be just informed, okay? So join a book club to have group discussions. And you can join now. Just send me the message to Telegram or my Instagram to add yourself to the list. We have a limited amount of spots there. I think 2 or 3 left only. So just let me know if you guys are interested. Talking about books is a great way to really understand them. Other people may notice things you didn't, and vice versa. So what does it mean, vice versa? I remember when I had been working at Cheesecake Heaven restaurant in Wisconsin Dells. It's a city in Wisconsin, U.S. So it's I had the girl there, and she explained me this word, vice versa. She asked me, what does it mean in Russian? And then she learned it. She was saying it, naoborot, like this. So this is the vice versa. Yeah, but classically, it's just vice Vice versa. For example, Jane like Mike and Mike like Jane, right? So vice versa. It means Jane like Mike and vice versa. Mike like Jane, right? So this is the opposite direction. One direction, and you can do the same, right? What's better one example? Okay, like this. 2 plus 2 equals 2 plus 2, and vice versa, because it's the same parts from both sides, right? It has the same meaning from both. For example, if you said something and the other way is pretty the same, you can use this beautiful phrase, vice versa. For example, Russia hates America and vice versa, right? So here you go. What else they say here? Talk to your friends or go to your local library to join or organize a club. You can also find book clubs and forums for discussion online. Yeah, like I'm offering you guys today. So that's the all 7 great recommendations for us. And it's enough for today. Let's revise it a little bit quicker. What we've learned today, just to revise, to get into the plot of today's episode. We should set ourselves up for success while reading. And first of all, we should find a good spot for reading, right? Second, we should make sure we should be sure about the right frame of our mind to focus, right? Third one is we should pick paper books instead of ebooks. Number 4, we should read the book slowly but steadily. And number 5, we should check knowledge or what has happened before moving on to a new section. So always revise and take good notes while we read. Yeah, so we need to take some notes. And then we should join a book club to have a group discussion. This is 7 great recommendations for today, guys. And it's another great method for how you can understand the book you're reading more effectively. Okay? So if you guys have any questions, or if you want to say something about our podcast, or you want to offer a topic for our discussion, please send your ideas or thoughts to my Instagram, Bondarison, or to my Telegram or WhatsApp. You'll find my my phone number on my website, danilabondarenko.ru. And that's all for today. I hug you all, guys, and I'll see you next week. Be cool, be productive with your language, and enjoy your English learning process. Thank you so much. Take care.